Welcome to Long Pond, Pennsylvania, at the Pocono racetrack. We are here for the 10th round of the Blown Piston series, and that means that today is going to be the final race before we get into the playoffs. And that means we're going to be keeping a very close eye on the situation as far as the playoffs is concerned. And last week we were at North Wilkesboro. We saw Marshall Stanley win there in front of Jordan Berry and Michael Coe. And what we want to do here is bring up the season standings. And as you can see, we have pointed out for you here how the situation is as far as the playoffs is concerned. So if you look at the top of the chart, you see Mike Perry, Andrew Moore, Pondo Co, Jason Branch, Adam Pettit, and Scott Wise. They are locked into the playoffs, as well as Jordan Berry in 8th because of a race win. And we also have, let me see, Randy Bledsoe and Roger Matthias locked in as race winners. Then you see in the green bracket up front above there, Pondo Co, Branch, Pettit, Ryan Nicoletta, I should say, Scott Wise. They are locked in on points. So they may not have had their victory yet, but they have scored enough points to go through into the playoffs. So then we see some drivers with a blue note on the right side there, starting with Matt Miller. And those guys are close. They are currently in, but they're not locked in yet. They could lose out if they don't score the points they need to lock. So you can see there, Matt Miller in 8th position. He needs 6 points to lock himself in. So with today's field looking like we're going to take 20 cars at the start, and since 20th position will score something like 24 points, that means that Matt Miller basically just has to start the race and he can be sure that he's there and that he gets locked into the playoffs. And the same goes for Randy Perdue. He needs 13 points to lock in. Then Casey Duncan, 15. David Dolliver, 18. And the only one that's getting in tricky territory there is the number 13 of Kevin Nicoletta. He needs 28 points to lock in. And it is not necessarily true that if he would finish like last in a field of 20, he would not be scoring those 28 points. So that is a position that is up for grabs, as is Jackson Allen there in 16th position in the standings. He needs 56 points to lock in. And that would be a tough call to make because 56 points, that would be first stage win and race win combined. That would still not get him there. He would still need to lead a lot of laps to get there. So for Jackson Allen, that's going to be a tough call. Then below there, we still have a bunch of guys with the yellow bracket behind them. They can mathematically still make it in, but it's going to be a little bit tougher for them as well. Andrew Mraz is one of those people. He needs 16 points to get in. Then we see Marshall Stanley. He needs 22 points to get in. Waylon McConnell, he needs 43 points to get in. Then we see Brian Rainville. He needs 52 points to get in, and the same is true for Jeremy Rittenberg. 52 points to get in, and then Kurt Rittenberg needs 61 points to get in. And as I said, it might mathematically still be possible if they do everything perfectly right according to playbook, but that would be a tall order to fill. Then we have 3 more drivers in the standings here that would make their way in if they took a win today. And that is Ron Schutte in the 24th position, Jason Nicholas in the 27th position, and Sean Dias in the 29th position. So that basically tells you what we are racing for today is basically 12 drivers trying to fill the final 3 spots in the playoffs. And as said, most of those guys in the blue bracket should be fine, except for Kevin Nicoletta and Jackson Allen. And I don't even know if we have Jackson Allen here. I haven't seen him yet, to be honest with you. So that's the situation currently. Keep in mind that a win, on a stage win, and we're going to do 60 laps tonight with the first stage ending on lap 30 and the final stage ending at the finish of the race on lap 60. Stage win will pay some points. The win would be 10, the second 9, and then so on. And then the race points obviously will pay out at the end of the race. 45 for the winner, 43 for the second guy, 41, and then on down to a final 1 point at the bottom of the sheet there. You get points for leading laps. You get points for leading the most laps. So there is plenty of opportunity for these guys to score points. But as said, for some of them, it'll be a tall order to fill. And we're going to have to wait and see how we're doing here tonight at Pocono. 60 lap race, that doesn't sound like a whole lot, but let's bring up some info on the track here. Pocono Raceway, famous for being pretty much the only tri-oval, three-turn oval that we have. Long Pond, Pennsylvania is the town where we're at. It is a 2.5 mile track, so it's a fairly long track. The main straightaway is the longest straightaway, and they're going to be reaching probably right around 180 miles an hour there. Then there is turn one that has a little bit of banking. It's not that much, but it's more than the other turns. The turn two barely has any banking, but that's a high speed turn. And then there's a short chute coming back to a fairly wide final turn, turn number 3. And the best part of this is who needs a turn number 4 at Pocono? Nobody does, because that'll bring you back to the main straightaway where you have the pit lane on the left side of your track there. Let's see if we can bring that into there. You have the pit lane, and on the right hand side of your screen you can almost see turn 1 there, and then the first straightaway going back to the back end of the facility where turn number 2 is. Currently we have absolutely nobody on track. We have 20 cars lined up and waiting for the qualifying to start, and that will be in 2 minutes and 10 seconds. We'll get into individual qualifying. The ambient temperature here in Long Pond, Pennsylvania is 79 degrees. The relative humidity is 50%. We have a cloudy sky and we have winds of 7 miles an hour. That is not really something that would bother the drivers all that much. Shouldn't be that much of an issue. We have a track temperature of 88 degrees Fahrenheit, which is not all that high. It's not cold either. It shouldn't bother them all that much. We know that we're running a fixed setup here. That means that the drivers cannot alter the springs, the shock absorbers, the suspensions, the cambers, you name it. The only thing they can do is work with the brake bias a little bit, and they can change the steering ratio. So the gearbox for the steering, they can change that, and that means that if you change that, that means that you change the amount of input that you do with the steering wheel to achieve a certain amount of steering. So some drivers like to turn that wheel more to get the same amount of steering, and they have that opportunity in these cars here, even though it's a fixed setup. We're going to be doing unlimited tires in this race, and the fuel capacity for the cars has been brought down to 50%, and that should give the drivers a fuel window of about 14 to 16 laps. There's been one person in the pit that told me as much as 20 laps. I will have to wait and see. But I'm pretty sure with 20 laps, it'll be pretty much over with that fuel in the tank with a 50% capacity. Pit lane speed limit is 55 miles an hour. As said, we have unlimited tires in this race. And one thing I need to bring up also before we let's go back to that standings here. The one driver, the fifth placed driver, Adam Pettit, has I don't believe he's here tonight either, but he has told the organizers that he will not be using his playoffs spot. He has other commitments, so Adam Pettit's spot is up for grabs. basically giving the guys that are not locked in yet an extra chance to get themselves locked in. All right, it looks like qualifying has started. And let's see if we can find somebody on the track here. That is Andrew Mraz. Andrew Mraz is also still mathematically able to get into the playoffs. He's going to have to score 16 points or better. That is possible. He would have to be up there in the front, and it'll depend a little bit on who else is going to score well. So let me double check something here real quick. It looks like we're good. So Andrew Mraz is going to need a good qualifying, and let's see who else we got out there. Brian Rainville in the number 60 car. Kurt Rittenberg in the 00 car. We have Matt Miller out on track in the 78. And we have Andrew Moore Jr., one of the race winners. He is locked in, and then Randy Perdue and Kevin Nicoletta. So what we should also mention for you is that after the race, we normally just try to talk to the top 3 finishers. We're going to stick around a little bit longer today, and we're going to try and see if we can talk to some of the guys that will be running the playoffs here, and see what their expectations are for the final remainder of the season. And obviously, it's going to be a different animal than just scoring points and winning races. Winning races will obviously benefit them enormously, but we'll have to wait and see how all that plays out. And we'd like to try and see if we can hear from some of those guys and see what their feelings are about being in the playoffs and what their chances are as they see it. All right, so let's concentrate here on qualifying. It looks like Rittenberg is jumping into the lead here with a 55.820 in front of Indiana Wise, and he is running a 55.82. Then it's Kurt Rittenberg in third. Kevin Nicoletta is in fourth. Matt Miller looks like he has just put it on the fifth position here with a 56.11. And we have more times coming in. Currently, Brian Rainville looks like his first lap was a good lap. There you see it, 55.724. And he's actually already surpassed by Andrew Moore Jr., and he is running a 55.648. And obviously, we're going to be waiting and seeing if their second lap will show any improvement. And it currently looks like no drivers have posted a second time just yet. Let me see here. We have Jordan Berry in the number 7 car jumping into 5th position with his first time. And it looks like Andrew Mraz is missing in action here. I'm not sure where he went. He should still be doing another lap. Let me see there. And it looks like that is Moore on his final lap here. Let's see if he can hold on to that highest spot here on the time charts. It does look like he did not improve his time, and Brian Rainville abandoned his second lap there, it looks like. So we still have Jordan Berry on the track. He is currently in 5th position. He's finishing up his final lap here in the number 7 car, coming across the line as we speak, and his final lap time would be it looks like his final lap time was disallowed. He must have either touched the wall somewhere or been off track underneath that yellow line, maybe too far. Not sure what happened to him, but his second lap time was disallowed. Then it's Jeff Ryan here in the number 3 car. He's coming back for his final qualifying lap here. And it looks like Roger Matthias is bringing up that car into the 3rd position with a 55.760 on his second lap. And let me see, Jason Branch ran a 55.798, and that is 5th at the moment. So let's finish up here with Jeff Ryan. He is currently in 8th position That was his final lap, so he's done for the qualifying. Jason Nicholas ran a 55.9. That puts him in 10th position, and that is your qualifying order. That brings us to the grid for our race here tonight. That means that Andrew Moore Jr. is on the pole position. Brian Rainville will be alongside him on the second position there. And let's see if we can see the guys lining up there. On the second row, it'll be Roger Matthias and Indiana Wise. On the third row, it'll be Jason Branch and Andrew Mraz. On the fourth row, Jordan Berry and Jeff Ryan. On the fifth row, it will be Randy Perdue and Jason Nicholas. The sixth row will be for Mike Perry and Ryan Nicoletta. The seventh row will be for Kurt Rittenberg and Dave Dolliver. Then it's going to be Tommy Ryan and Casey Duncan on the eighth row. Kevin Nicoletta and Matt Miller on the ninth row. And the 10th row will be Pondo Co. and Patrick Langley. Lauren Wise, I'm fairly sure, will not be taking the start. She is in the race as an administrator. So Langley will be taking that 20th spot there. We have 20 drivers on the track as we speak. So we are getting set for that final race to decide the spots in the playoffs, and we'll try to keep you informed on that, but we're looking at a lot of information going back and forth between papers and screens and stuff like that, so I hope I can keep up with all that. We'll try to keep you informed. Andrew Moore, your pole sitter, he is locked in as a race winner, so he is in good shape here. Then it's, let me see, Brian Rainville, where's he at? Brian Rainville is not locked in. He needs 52 points to get in, and that means he's got his work cut out for him. He would definitely benefit enormously from a stage win on lap 30, and a race win on top of that would get him there. There we go, folks. We're rolling out. We're behind the pace truck. A long string of cars there leaving the pit lane. Beautiful sight to see. We got a good sized field here. 20 cars taking the start, it looks like. So there you have them. We're going to be doing, I'm fairly sure we're only going to do one warm-up lap here. Roger Matthias here in the number 5 car, and then Indiana Wise in the 31 car. Jason Branch in the Navy car here. Then it's Andrew Mraz in the red and white 028. Jordan Berry in the number 7 car. Randy Perdue, the 29. Jeff Ryan in the number 3 car on your outside by the wall there, that blue and white car, that's Jeff Ryan. Then it's going to be Mike Perry here in the number 2 car. Jason Nicholas in the 202 car. Jason and Nicholas needs a win. That would be the only way for him to advance. So in 11th position, that would be a hill to climb, I would say, but never say never, because we've seen weirder things happening in racing. Tommy Ryan in the number 6 car there, the yellow and black car. Then it's Ryan Nicoletta in the police livery. David Dolliver in the 23 car. Casey Duncan in the Casey Duncan in the 17 car, the target car. Then it's the 41 of Kevin Nicoletta. And then we have Matt Miller in the 78. Pondo Co. is the number 9. He's the final running car. It looks like Patrick Langley is not taking the start, or he could be starting from the pits. The green flag is out, and we are racing for the playoffs in the final round to decide who goes there. It's the number 77 of Andrew Moore in the lead there, with Roger Matthias right on his tail. Looked like he is trying to push him towards turn 1 there. In the number 5 car, Brian Rainville locked out there on the outside in the 60 with Indiana Wise right behind him, and Jason Branch on the inside. Then it's the 028 of Andrew Mraz in 6th position, and it looks like that is Rainville dropping back down the order. Something is wrong with that car. I have no idea why he's slowing down, but he's dropping back to the end of the field. from being way up there. That is a very weird situation. Andrew Moore is your leader. Roger Matthias is in second. It's Indiana Wise here in the third position with a big group of cars. Andrew Mraz, Jason Branch, Jeff Ryan, Jordan Berry, Randy Perdue, Jason Nicholas, all behind there. There they come on the main straightaway. It looks like Matthias is diving to the inside in turn one, and it looks like Andrew Moore is running really wide there. We have a caution, and we're going to try and figure out what is going on. It looks like the 17 of Casey Duncan is getting in trouble, and that happens on the straightaway. Ooh, it looks like that is the 78, I believe, of Matt Miller that he's getting into. Let's see if we can bring that up closer. Yep, that's the 78. The target car is coming up a little bit higher to arc for the turn, it looks like. He wants to come back to the outside line, but he's not aware that he's not clear of the 78. He backs it into the wall hard and makes that pickup truck quite a bit shorter there. Okay, let's see. Casey Duncan is rolling, and we'll have to wait and see what happens to him in the pit lane. Andrew Moore is searching for the pace car up front here, with Matthias still in second. The yellow came out before he could complete that pass. We see Brian Rainville coming into the pits as well. I'm not sure what happened to him there. He dropped back through the order quite rapidly on that opening lap. Basically, after they came out of turn one, it was all over for him. So I hope it's not a technical issue, or it could be a hardware issue with his pedals or something like that. All right, let's check here on Casey Duncan. He is in the pits, and it looks like that car has been fixed up with a fast repair, and I'm fairly sure we have one of those, because that car looks in tip-top shape as Casey Duncan brings it back out on the track. And luckily Brian Rainville is also back out on track, so both these drivers took a pit stop here after one lap of racing basically, and there you have him coming back out of the pits. And you're riding along here with our leader, and that is Andrew Moore in the 77 car. Let's take you back through these guys a little bit so you get to know him a little bit better. That is Roger Matthias in the number 5. Then it's Andrew Mraz in the 028. We have Indiana Wise up there in the 31, the orange and black car. Then we see Jason Branch here in the navy car. It's Jeff Ryan in the 3. And it looks like Jeff is opting to go into the pits, and so is Jason Nicholas in the 202. Kevin Nicoletta is doing the same thing. And let's see, we have some more takers. Let me see. Tommy Ryan is coming in. David Dolliver is coming in. Matt Miller is coming in. Pocono is coming in. And looks like Brian Rainville is back in again. So I'm not sure what the damage on that car would be, to be honest with you. Let's double check everything once again, and it looks like we're okay. All right, so yeah, we have quite a few takers here. Pondo Co already on his way out. It looks like Jeff Ryan is on his way out, and they might just be thinking, with a fuel window of 14 to maybe 17, 18 laps, just top that thing off and see if we can make it to the first stage without stopping again. That would be a tall order, probably. That's not going to work. That would be 30 laps. That's not going to work. So let's bring them back up front here. It looks like the lights on the pace car are still on. There you have a little bit bigger overview. That's turn 2 that they're coming out of here at Pocono, and that'll take them on the shortest straight of the track into a long and sweeping turn that brings them back onto the main straightaway. Turn number 3 here. They'll be going in there now. There you see it painted on the wall. I hope you can see it anyway, but it's up there, I can promise you that. And that looks to me like the pace car should be... I'm not sure if the lights are out. No, they're not out yet. So we're going to pace another lap here On the main straightaway there you see a fairly wide pit entry. They have to come down from, they're probably doing about 110 miles an hour in that turn, and they have to come down to about 55 miles an hour in the pit lane. We have Jeff Ryan once again coming down to pit road. There you see him, and Tommy Ryan in the number 6 car is now also coming into pit road. And Casey Duncan is back in, and I'm fairly sure they're just topping those cars off and seeing if that would help them get any further than the rest of them as we get started again. And let's go check on the pace truck. I do believe the lights are off now, so we're going to be going racing here fairly shortly. There you see him going through turn 1. I guess you can't really speak of a backstretch here. There's only 3 sides to this thing, so. But the second straight that you're looking at here is also fairly long. It's not as long as the main straightaway, but it's fairly long. And then the turn 2 that you're looking at as we come down here is a fairly fast. It's basically just a kink that they should be able to take that without lifting or barely lifting as they go through here. I haven't driven these trucks very much. I know in an Indy car it's just an all-out turn. I don't expect that it's that fast in these trucks because Indy cars are ground effect cars, meaning they have airflow that sucks them to the asphalt. Obviously the trucks are not made that way. Alright, so it looks like they're staying single file here as we're coming out of turn 3, and it's Andrew Moore heading the pack. There we go. He hits the gas. He pulls away a couple of car lengths from Roger Matthias here immediately in the number 5 car. It looks like Andrew Mraz was on the ball there. He's staying with the number 5 pretty good. Then we see Indiana Wise in the 4th position. We see Jason Branch in the 5th position as we head into turn 1 with Jordan Berry in the number 7 car. He is right here in the 6th position with Randy Perdue in 7th and Mike Perry in 8th, Ryan Nicoletta in 9th, and Kurt Rittenberg is in 10th. And it looks like we are missing the pass for the lead here. Let's bring it back for you really quickly. It's Matthias coming to the inside, exiting turn 1 and on to turn 2. He picks up the lead. And let's go live real quick because it looks like Moore and Andrew Mraz have already brought it back up front on the 3rd short straight. They're bringing it back up front. So let's stick up here with the leaders. All right, for now, we have Andrew Mraz pushing for that lead there. He's coming to the inside into turn 1. And it looks like he gets that 028 underneath the 77, and the 77 runs fairly wide. It allows Matthias to come in there as well. So we have Andrew Mraz picking up the lead with Roger Matthias now in 2nd, Andrew Moore in 3rd. And it's still Indiana Wise in 4th, Jason Branch in 5th, Jordan Berry in 6th behind there. But let's focus on these guys here now. It's Matthias pulling for that 1st position. It's Andrew Mraz that has it currently, and it looks like Moore is hanging on to that 3rd spot. Indiana Wise now closing in rapidly here in that final turn. He looks like he wants a piece of that action just as well. So let's go and bring her up to Matthias and Mraz here. And now it looks like the number 5 of Roger Matthias is coming to the inside. There's a good draft on that long straightaway, and that gives you the ability to draft past your opponent into turn 1. Turn 1 is wide enough. It's definitely not an all-out turn. You have to lift and even use the brakes maybe a little bit. It's got some banking, and not that much, but more than the other turns. And it looks like Mraz is defending strongly there. He's still nosing that car ahead of the 5 coming off turn 1 and through turn 2. So we're on our way to turn 3 here with the 77 of Moore. And it looks like Indiana Wise is picking up that 3rd position from the 77. Oh, and he immediately shoots through all the way past to the inside of Matthias here. Now let's see what they can do on the main straightaway. The 31 tugs in behind that number 5 to catch the draft, see if he can pick up some speed. and have the number 5 punch that hole in the air for him. And it doesn't look like he's close enough to do anything to the number 5. It looks like Jason Branch there in the number 22 car has also caught on here to that lead group, and Jordan Berry is working on that pretty hard as well. So there we have Matthias trying again to pick up that lead from the 028. He puts Miraz back in his place, it looks like. He picks up that 4th position, and Indiana Wise is trying really hard to stay underneath there as well. It looks like Miraz had a bit of a wiggle coming off that turn there. On to turn 3, and it looks like the 31 of Wise is staying behind the 28 now. The 28 gets back underneath Matthias, picks that lead back up. We have lead changes 3-4 times a lap, it looks like, side by side on the main straightaway towards turn 1. The 5 has a little bit more speed coming off of turn 3, but Andrew Miraz is still on the inside. And he brings it into turn 1, and the 5 runs a little high. The 31 gets underneath him as well. The 77 is right there. It's Andrew Miraz picking up the lead coming off of 1. Then it's Roger Matthias still in the 2nd spot, but it's Indiana Wise that's trying hard to get to his inside for turn 2. And it looks like Indiana Wise picks up that 2nd position in the 2nd turn here. Well, Matthias fights back on that outside. And it looks like Indiana had a bit of a wiggle there coming off turn 2 and had to get off the gas a little bit. The 77 and the 22, the 77 looked like he was on the curb a little bit, loses out on speed a little bit there. It looks like Andrew Moore is dropping back to 6th position, and it is Jordan Berry on that inside there, 3 wide going into turn 1. And it looks like Berry thinks the better of it. Randy Perdue stays on the inside. The 77 of Moore drops back to 7th position. And it's Andrew Miraz still in front. Matthias in 2nd. Indiana Wise in 3rd. Looks like Miraz is taking a defensive line there to hold off Matthias, avoid him getting that draft. And then it's Jason Branch to the inside of Indiana Wise. It causes Wise to run up a little bit higher than he wants to probably, but Jason is not past him yet. We see that the number 2 car of Mike Perry is right there as well. He's blinking a little bit. He's got some internet connection issues, it looks like. And it looks like Randy Perdue is still in 6th, but Andrew Moore fighting back for that position right now. He's on the inside there. Randy Perdue getting a push from Jordan Berry. Let's bring her back up to the front here. It's Miraz and Matthias. Wise still in 3rd. Mike Perry picks up 4th position from Jason Branch. And it looks like Randy Perdue is still keeping that car ahead of the 77. There you see the STP car jumping out of line. That is Mike Perry that is trying to pass Indiana Wise here for 3rd position in turn 2, and it looks like he's got him. So Mike Perry, nope, they're still side by side. Indiana Wise is defending hard here into turn 3. It looks like Mike Perry is going to pick up that 3rd position. The 31 of Indiana Wise slots in behind him with the 22 of Jason Branch right there as well. Now they're going to try and get behind each other to catch that draft and see if they can slingshot towards turn 1. It looks like Jason Branch is already trying hard. And Mike Perry taking a defensive line to avoid the 22 car getting underneath him. But it looks like Indiana Wise is looking out there a little bit on the higher side, and he has to let Jason go. And on the 2nd straightaway towards turn 2, he's going to try to pick that position back up. It looks like he does so. On the higher side, you get a little bit more momentum off the turn. He slots right in front of Jason Branch and holds on to 4th position. We have a big issue back here. Let's see what's all going on. Pocono. Let's bring that back for you. There's separate incidents actually. Let me see who this yellow car here is. That is the number 6. It looks like that is Tommy Ryan. And let's go back and find out what happened in the first situation. Oh, it's happening ahead of them, actually. It's the 00. It's Kurt Rittenberg that gets in the trouble first. And the reason is that Pocono runs up wide, high against him. He can't avoid the double zero up there, and he smashes that double zero into the wall. And then it looks like we had, let me see there. David Dolliver is pretty much a victim of that in the second instance there. It's ahead of him, and it looks like the 202 of Jason Nicholas gets it wrong trying to brake for that incident, and he pushes Dolliver into the wall. So we have several guys in trouble here. Let's see if they're going to be taking pit stops. I'm fairly sure they will. Let's take a look here. We can try to see if we can catch him on pit road. No, not yet. The 202 of Nicholas Kurt Rittenberg. His back end is a little smashed up, but it doesn't look too bad. Front end is not that great anymore either. So let's see these guys. I'm expecting them to come down pit road on lap number 14. I'm expecting pretty much everybody to come in because that would be the time to get fuel and tires. We did not see Mraz and Matthias go in. Mike Perry is also still out there. Jason Branch stayed out. And Andrew Moore Jr. stays out there. And then it's Matt Miller in the 78. Jeff Ryan stayed out there. We know that Jeff and Matt pitted on lap 1. So I'm a little puzzled by that because with the pit window of 14 to 16 or 17 laps, being on lap 15, you would expect these guys to be looking for fuel and for tires, obviously. So, but that's not the case. It looks like Brian Rainville is back in the pits there. Let's see, we have Jordan Berry coming off of pit road as the first car. That would look good to him. Then it's Randy Perdue, Casey Duncan, Brian Rainville, Pocono coming off pit road. We see David Dolliver coming off pit road. Kevin Nicoletta coming off pit road. Indiana Wise is still standing there. And I'm not sure what the deal is. I don't believe he was involved in any of these crashes. He's coming out now. There must have been some issue with him. Jason Nicholas is standing still there on pit road, and so is Tommy Ryan. So Jason Nicholas, he needed a win to... Oh, there he goes. He needs a win to advance, so that is a tall order for today. And then Tommy Ryan, I don't believe Tommy Ryan is anywhere near making it to the playoffs. I'm fairly sure he's joined only recently. I'm not 100% sure, but he doesn't even show up in the standing information that I have. So he must be a fairly new driver. All right, let's go check on your field here. It's Andrew Mraz in the 028, the 028 in the lead. It's Matthias in 5th position. It's Mike Perry in the 3rd. What did I say? Roger Matthias is the 5 car in the 2nd position. I apologize. Then it's Mike Perry in the number 2 car in 3rd. Jason Branch in the 22 car in 4th. And Ryan Nicoletta here in the 59, the police livery car there on the inside. And he is in the 5th position. We're going to go double file on the restart. And the lights on the pace car have been turned off, so we have one more lap to go before we go back to racing. So now I'm going to be I'm a little surprised about the top guys there, Mraz, Matthias, and Branch not going into the pits in lap number 15 or 16. If your pit window is, it might be about 20, but that would mean that after 4 laps they would have to come in, and so that puzzles me a little bit, but maybe we'll have a chance to talk to him about it after the race. Mraz on the inside behind the pace car, Matthias on the outside. Mraz is still looking to make it to the playoffs. He needs 16 points. He would definitely have those points if he would stay in the top 3. And Matthias is already locked in as a race winner. Jason Branch is already locked in on points. Mike Perry is locked in as a race winner, and Andrew Moore is also locked in as a race winner. So the only guy here at the top of the pack is Andrew Mraz, that still has a lot to gain here, and so I expect him to be fighting hard for the win. There we go. Andrew Mraz hits the gas. He pulls away from the field just by a little bit. It looks like everybody was on the ball here. Roger Matthias in second, Mike Perry in third, Jason Branch in fourth, Andrew Moore in fifth. Coming towards turn one. It looks like no major changes here taking place, except for maybe Ryan Nicoletta. He is on the lower side there, and it looks like he picks up a position from Jeff Ryan in the number 3 car. And Matt Miller is on the inside there of the 29 of Randy Perdue. Coming into turn 2 there. And it doesn't look like he picks that position up. And behind him, it's Jordan Berry. Back up front here, Matthias picking up that lead coming into turn 3. Oh, it looks like the 028's got some good momentum on that higher side there. He's still nosing ahead of that number 5 car. The 5 car now has Perry and Branch behind him in that draft. Branch already looking to the inside. Can he make something happen? Oh, he tucks back in. Matthias holding on to the lead here, but only just. Oh, his car's blinking a little bit. I hope for his sake that that's not going to be an issue. Andrew Mraz now in the second spot on the outside, and it looks like Mike Perry is trying to push Roger Matthias there towards turn 2, and that seems to be working. Mraz on the high side there, and everybody's safely through. The 22 is now coming under pressure from Andrew Moore in the 77 car. That's the orange car on the outside there, with Ryan Nicoletta in the 59 in the police livery. He's also there. The 29 of Randy Perdue at the tail end of this group here. Matthias behind Mraz with Mike Perry and Andrew Moore. And it looks like Mraz is trying the high side, gets into the turn a little bit deeper, but let's see how they come out. It looks like Matthias is still in front as they come out. And once again, ooh, Perry is all, I thought he was going to tug in behind Mraz there, or Matthias, but he's going to the low side, 3 wide towards turn 2. And it looks like Mike Perry picks up the lead here with Mraz on the outside and Matthias on the inside behind him. Now it's Perry on the high side with the 028 trying to push him, and again they're going double, 2 wide here into turn 3. It looks like Perry is still ahead, Mraz in second, Matthias is in third, and there you see the leaders coming into the pits under green. And doesn't it make you wonder? That means that Mike Perry picks up the lead, and he also is going to have to pit because he hasn't been in yet. The first car that has been in is Randy Perdue, currently in the second position with Jordan Berry in third. Doesn't it make you wonder? Kevin Nicoletta with Casey Duncan here for 5th and 4th. And it looks like Kevin Nicoletta is on the inside there in the white 41. But it looks like Casey Duncan can hold him off into turn 2. We have guys coming out of pit road there. It's, let me see, it looks like Jeff Ryan is coming off pit road. Andrew Moore is in front of him. Then it's Matthias and Mraz coming off pit road behind him. So it's Randy Perdue that picks up the lead from Jordan Berry. What happened to Mike Perry? Mike Perry went into the pits. Obviously, we were we were missing him, but he's going in for fuel and tires as Randy Perdue. Casey Duncan picks up second position from Jordan Berry on the inside there. We could see him coming by. Then it's Pocono in the number 9 car. Kevin Nicoletta, Indiana Wise, is back in 6th position. Brian Rainville in 7th. Kurt Rittenberg, Dolliver. Let's go check on Rittenberg there. He's coming to the inside of Rainville, and it looks like he picks up that position from Brian Rainville. Randy Perdue up in front. Casey Duncan alongside Jordan Berry. Jordan Berry on the high side. Looks like he's got good momentum off turn 2, but Casey Duncan is on his inside here in turn 3. And then you see Pocono there right behind him, right behind that target car. Berry and Duncan drag racing towards turn 1, and it looks like Berry has the advantage of the draft there, and Duncan is basically punching that hole in the air himself. But it looks like Berry runs a little bit wide, and Casey Duncan and Pocono both are getting by Jordan Berry. Kevin Nicoletti now on his inside. Nicoletta, I should say. Indiana Wise right behind Nicoletta there. Jordan Berry still ahead of the 41 car, but only just. Randy Perdue, your leader. Casey Duncan, your second place driver. Your Pocono in third. Kevin Nicoletta now picks up the 4th position from Jordan Berry into turn 3. Jordan Berry in the number 7 car here. He is now in 5th position with Kurt Rittenberg in the 00 and Indiana Wise to his inside. Jordan Berry making a move here. He's not coming alongside just yet. He needs to pick up that draft first and then challenge him into turn 1. He's not close enough by, and neither is Indiana Wise there behind the 00 of Rittenberg. Looks like Brian Rainville comes to the inside of David Dolliber. Dolliber now fighting back towards turn 2. And up front, it is still the 29 of Randy Perdue driving in the lead in front of Casey Duncan, Pocono, Kevin Nicoletta, Jordan Berry, Kurt Rittenberg in the 00 there, Indiana Wise in the 31. Then it's Dolliber and Rainville duking it out here for the 8th and 9th position, and it looks like Rainville picks that position up here with the 202 of Jason Nicholas already back up in 10th position. He had a little bit of an issue earlier with trying to escape the incident in front of him. You can see the back end of that car not in tip-top shape anymore. In 11th position, we have the second group. That is Matthias, Mraz, and Ryan. And Andrew Moore is there as well. Jason Branch is there as well. Ryan Nicoletta. Those are the guys that pitted on lap 19 after the yellow, and it just makes you wonder, why not go in when everybody has the chance under yellow? But they opted not to do so. And it puts them back about 30 seconds on the rest of the field. So Matthias is about 33 seconds behind Jason Nicholas in the 10th position. There you have the 202 of Jason Nicholas. They are running a little bit faster lap times by about a half a second, but they still have about a half a minute to make up, so I just can't help but wonder. Randy Perdue here coming under attack from Casey Duncan into turn 1, and they're giving each other good room to race. I do believe so, and Casey Duncan is still alongside, but he can't quite get past, and he slots right back in there trying to catch that draft once again towards turn 2. Turn 2 is not really the best place for overtaking. It's the fastest turn on the track. We can ride along with him with the dashboard there. Oh, let's wait a second. There's Pocono. Oh, Pocono trying to get to the inside of Casey Duncan there. Oh, and then more people run into the 17 car. That is pretty unfortunate. Let's bring that back for you. That is Pocono trying to get to the inside of the 17. The 17 has to go to the inside because the leaders are catching up with back markers, and unfortunately they can't avoid running into each other then further back. It looked like that was Indiana Wise that ran into him with the 31 car, if I saw that correctly. Yes, indeed, and that's a pretty hard hit for Indiana Wise, I do believe. So hopefully those guys can bring him back to the pit lane. It looks like Indiana has already gone down to the pit lane here. And it looked like he took a toll because nobody's working on anything right now. So that is going to bunch up the field. And that could be the reason those guys did that because, well, I don't know. I mean, they're still Matthias is now in 10th. Mraz is in 11th. Let's go look him up here. There you have him. They're still trying to catch up with the field being under yellow. That's how far behind they were. It is going to bunch them all back up for that first stage on lap 30. At the end of lap 30, that's when that pays out. But it just, I don't see them passing 10 cars in 4 or 5 laps. I mean, I just don't. I can't help but wonder why would you not go in? But well, maybe we'll get a chance to talk to him about it. And then it's Moore in 12th, Branch in 13th, it's Ryan in 14th, Nicoletta in 15th, Miller, is the one in 16th, then 17th is Mike Perry, Tommy Byrne is in 17th, and it looks like Indiana Wise is still in the pits here. Not sure what's going to happen to him. We see a lot of guys coming back in. Randy Perdue, and that also puzzles me because they would have easily made it to that first stage. They would pick up 10 points. And maybe Perdue is not interested in that all that much because, well, he's not in a position. He needs 13 points. So if he would have picked up that stage win, he would have been in pretty good shape. He needs 59 points to, he needs 13 points to lock himself in. So a stage win of 10 points would pretty much get him there. So, yeah, I'm kind of puzzled by some of the strategy that these guys are exhibiting in this race. Pocono picks up the lead because of that. He didn't pit at this point. He pitted last on lap 14, and that's true also for Kevin Nicoletta. Andrew Moore, and that means that Andrew Moore's doing pretty good business with Ryan Nicoletta behind him. Jason Branch, Randy Perdue is now in 6th, Kurt Rittenberg in 7th. So the guys that pitted on lap 19, that is Moore, Nicoletta, and Branch, they picked up quite a bit here because of the pit stops for Perdue and Rittenberg, Mraz, Dolliber, Matthias, Perry, Miller, Nicholas, and Rainville. And it kind of looks like these guys are not focused on that stage win at all, and they are more focused on the race win, obviously. So there we see that is Tommy Ryan that you're looking at with Jordan Berry behind him coming back out of the pits. Casey Duncan. It looks like Indiana Wise is back out, now back in, so he's still not happy with the car as far as the repair status is concerned. It actually looks like he may have had a fast repair, and now he's just probably opting to fill up the tank as full as he can get it. When you're in the back, you can do that stuff without it costing you anything. Obviously, you can just go in and go back out, and you'll still be in the back. So as long as you do it under yellow, you'll be cool. I do believe that I saw Indiana Wise make a bit of a pit stop error there. He had to back his car up. Let's go. Yeah, he overshoots his pit there a little bit. But oh well, that stuff at this point, it's not that big of a deal. Alright, we're keeping an eye on our internet connection here as well, folks, because it looks like we have a few skipped frames here and there. I hope the quality is not being affected by that. And let's go bring her back up here because we're getting ready to race again. It's Pocono in the pole position, or in the first position, I should say. Kevin Nicoletta in the 41 car, with Andrew Moore behind him, Jason Branch, Ryan Nicoletta, Kurt Rittenberg, Randy Perdue, Roger Matthias, and David Dolliber. And then Mike Perry is your 10th position. Nice big field. We still have all 20 cars look like they're all still running, although Casey is in the pit. I'm not sure if he's coming back out. So there we go. Pace car goes in. There we go. We're back racing once again. Pocono is not exactly quicker than Nicoletta on the throttle here, so they're the field is staying together really well. That's kind of unusual because it usually stretches out a little bit better than this. There we have a big chunk of cars coming into turn one all at the same time. 3 wide, 4 wide. Oh boy, let's bring that angle up a little bit wider so you can see how busy it is here. And now it looks like they're slotting in back behind each other. Well, they're still 2 and 3 wide there. Pocono hanging on to that lead with Kevin Nicoletta into 41 in second position. Jason Branch picking up third. Ooh, Jason's washing up against the 77. We see the number 5 go a little bit wide. That's Matthias. He picks up that, the 00 touches the 77. Rittenberg gets together with Andrew Moore there. Let's bring that back. There you have him. Close in on that a little bit. The 00 gets close to the 77 there. And then when the 77 turns in, he's not aware of the 00 being there. And that is costing him dearly. And let's see who else gets caught up in that. That is the 59. Oh, the 59 of Ryan Nicoletta gets a couple taps from other cars there as well. Slams into the wall. Engine smoking. That is not a good sign. Yeah, he'll have to be coming into pit road. It looks like he already is going on to pit road. We have Indiana Wise still running. We have Casey Duncan back out there. He's right in front of the leaders, so he'll be waved around before we get going, hopefully. Maybe not. He's behind the leader. He may get a wave around anyway. Depends on the rules they are using here. Pocono is still your leader. It's Kevin Nicoletta in second. Jason Branch is in third. It's Matthias in fourth. It's Miller in the 78 in fifth. So let's check on Ryan Nicoletta here. He took a fast repair. Looks like that car is all right. He is going back out. He'll be picking up the back end of the field there, right there with Jordan Berry and Andrew Mraz. Let's take a look at him. He is going awfully slow. And something is steaming and smoking in front of him. That is Jordan Berry. He's going into the pits. Not exactly sure if he was involved in this crash as well. Can't tell. And aside from him, I saw, I think that was the, let me see here. Who do we have in the, we have a whole bunch of guys in the pits now. Randy Perdue, Rittenberg, Jeff Ryan, Andrew Moore. He was smoking. That's the one I was looking for. Andrew Moore. He's smoking like a chimney as well. Is he picking up a fast repair? Does he have one still? I don't know. And we have Barry in the pits, Dolliver, Tommy Ryan, Kurt Rittenberg, Andrew Mraz, and Casey Duncan is back in the pits as well. There you see some of the guys coming back out. Oh, it looks like Andrew Moore did have a fast repair on that car. It looks like it's in pretty good shape. Yeah, I would say he took a fast repair. Then we have Jordan Berry. He is coming back out as well. I'm not so sure if that was a fast repair or not. Let's take a look. That car looks pretty good. Yeah, looks like it is. And who else have we got? Kurt Rittenberg is coming back out into 00. Looks like he did not have a fast repair. That right rear, you can see that being a little bit banged up. Mraz, not sure what the deal is with him. And then Casey Duncan, not sure what the deal is with him. So let's bring them back up here. They're behind the pace car still. You have Pocono in the number 9 car is your leader. Nicoletta, I'm sorry, is your number 2 car. Then, and oh, it looks like Jason's going into the pits here. Yep, Jason Branch is coming into the pits. A late taker. Pocono is coming into the pits. Missed that one. So
we're not going green.
Oh,
not going green.
We're not going green. Something has happened. Not sure what it was. Ooh, that car is pretty banged up. That is Ryan Nicoletta. Oh, Did he take a faster pair? I can't really tell. Yes, definitely. Definitely. So let's go back live. I'm not really sure what happened to everybody, but they called off the green. So it's Kevin Nicoletta picking up the lead now, with Cole being having been in the pits. Looks like he's already coming out. Branch is coming out. Indiana Wise is still in the pits. Let's see what is going on with him there. And I'm not sure about Mraz and Duncan. They haven't been moving very much. Yeah, Mraz is coming back out. Good for him. And Duncan, I'm not so sure here. And it looks like Indiana Wise is still in the pits here. We'll have to wait and see what happens. Okay, let's take a look at the pace car. The lights are still on. So let's run through the order here quickly. It's Nicoletta, it's Matthias in the 5 car that is in second place. Then it's Matt Miller in the 78, Mike Perry in the number 2. Then it's Brian Rainville, Jason Nicholas, Randy Perdue, Jeff Ryan, David Dolliver, Andrew Moore in 10th, Kurt Rittenberg in 11th, Tommy Ryan in the 6 car is in 12th. That's the yellow and black car there. Then you have Pocono in 9th, Jason Branch in, Pocono in 13th, Jason Branch in 14th, Ryan Nicoletta is in 15th, and Jordan Berry is back out there as well. He is in the 15th, 14th position. We have 2 guys going back into the pits. That's Jason Nicholas and Kevin Nicoletta went into the pits. Oh boy. So these guys are filling them up again. They're coming back out, so Matthias picks that lead up in the number 5 car, with Miller in 2nd, Perry in 3rd, and Rainville 4th, Randy Perdue in 5th. So, let's check on Mraz. He is one of the guys that needs a lot of points to get this stuff going the way he wants it to. He is still running in 18th position, and 18th position would score him... that would score him 26 points, I believe. He needs 16, so it's going to make a lot of difference where the other guys will be as of whether he will make it in or not. Well, like I said, we have about 10 to 12 drivers fighting for 3 spots that are not guaranteed. People like Miller, Perdue, and Duncan, they just basically are already in as they started the race. They just, even if they don't finish, when they finish 19th or 20th, it doesn't matter. They would still pick up enough points to make that work. Looks like we're going single file as we go back to racing here. It's Matthias in front with Matt Miller in 2nd. Matthias has a good jump on Miller in the 2nd spot. He pulls away by about 2 car lengths. It's Mike Perry in 3rd there, right behind Miller. And it looks like single file means that they're not close enough to each other to try anything in turn 1. They're going to be needing that draft here a little bit. Ooh, we're losing Randy Perdue here. Ooh, yay.
Caution, yellow flag.
And a lot of guys are getting away with this. It's unbelievable. I'm sure that car's damaged from hitting the wall. Then he comes to the inside wall and he comes back on track and he's trying so hard to get out of the way, and then he almost collects the 202 as well. Oh, everybody doing a great job there getting around him, that's for sure. Everybody was paying attention. Unfortunate for the number 29 here, Randy Perdue. His car is smoking. I do believe he's already used that faster pair. I'm not 100% sure. But that's really unfortunate. I'm not really sure what the initial problem was when he got into the wall. Let's bring that back for you really quickly. He's just basically overdoing it coming off turn one. And then there's a bump on that apron there that gets him completely off guard. He tries to get out of the way. Everybody doing an awesome job there, trying to avoid a big mess. Unfortunate for Randy Perdue. He was doing really well, and now he's in the pit lane. Did he get a fast repair? Yeah, he still had his fast repair, so he's in good shape. He can go back out, catch up with the rest of the guys there at the at the end of the line. He'll be okay. So let's take a look at Purdue. Purdue is pretty sure of being in the playoffs. He only needs 59 points to lock himself in. He's already in, so he's just not locked in yet. So basically, he needs, let me see, he needs 13 points to lock himself in, and even if he would finish last or in 19th as he is now, that would still mean that he's in good shape. He'll be going to the playoffs. Roger Matthias in the lead. Matt Miller. Let's see, we got some more takers there on pit road. That's the 60 of Brian Rainville. We have Ryan Nicoletta coming in. Kevin Nicoletta coming in. And it looks like Indiana Wise is coming back in. He's been on pit road only 3 times. I thought it was more. Evidently not. So these 4 guys, Rainville, Nicoletta, the other Nicoletta in the pit, Indiana Wise in the pit, filling that thing back up. And to be honest with you, I missed who was the leader at lap 30 and who picked up that extra 10 points there. I apologize for that. We're trying to keep up with all the action here, and a lot of lead changes, a lot of incidents. So I apologize for missing that, but I'm sure we'll figure it out after the race with the point standings. Hopefully they can tell me who exactly will be going through and who didn't. So let's take a look at Andrew Moore here in the 77 car. He's in pretty good shape here in the 5th position. And let's find Miraz. Miraz is in 18th. He's been in the pits again, I believe. Lap 20. No, he's not been in the pits. I don't know. It shows his last pit stop here was lap 27. That would be 9 to 10 laps ago. Andrew Miraz needs 16 points to lock himself in. And as he currently runs in 18th position, that would be enough. That would be enough. But that would still depend on where other people finish, because he's not sure. And there he goes back into the pits. I'm sorry, I just had to turn my mic off a little bit because you don't want to hear me cough. Especially not these days. The lights on the truck seem to be out. It looks like we're going to stay single file once again. We're on lap 37 of 60, so we're over halfway. We're definitely not going to be making it on fuel just yet. I would expect all these guys at least to have another pit stop for fuel. Miller in second there in the 78 car. Let's check on Miller's situation. Matt Miller is he's pretty safe. He only needs 6 points to lock himself in. Regardless of where he finishes, he's going to pick up those 6 points here tonight. So Miller is in good shape, and then Mike Perry is already locked in as a race winner. Jeff Ryan, let's see about Jeff Ryan. I don't believe he is anywhere near the playoffs. And that may be because he started racing later in the season. I'm not sure. I came in the season later than the beginning, so I didn't see all the races. There we go. We're racing once again, folks. Matthias hits the gas. He pulls away a couple of car lengths from Matt Miller, just like he did the last time. Excuse me. It's Mike Perry in the third position with Jeff Ryan in the fourth. Andrew Moore is in the fifth position in the orange car coming at you. Ooh, Ryan hits the wall there on the entry of the turn. He was a little too high there. And it looks like the 77 might be able to take advantage of that little hiccup. Coming to the inside towards turn 2, and he's bringing the 00 of Rittenberg with him. Yeah, they've got that number 3 on the outside there. 77 picks up fourth position. That's Andrew Moore Jr. Then it's Jeff Ryan. He's being pushed by Tommy Ryan. But it's the 00 of Kurt Rittenberg trying to get underneath him now in turn 3. Coming onto the main straightaway, it still looks like Jeff Ryan is in front with his brother, I would suppose. Tommy Ryan behind him trying to push him. The number 9 of Pocono coming to the inside. The 00 gets in front of Jeff Ryan, and so does Pocono. So Pondo had a really good run off of turn 3, it looks like. The 23 of David Dolliver is there as well. On the inside now of the 2 Ryans. It looks like Rittenberg and Pocono picked up 5th and 6th position there because of that hiccup that the number 3 car had. Ooh, now it looks like Jeff Ryan, let me see, Tommy Ryan's dropping back. Not sure what happened to him. He may have scraped the wall there. He's dropping back to 13th position. Let's go check up front here. It's still Matthias with Miller and Perry. Ooh, we have another one. Lap 40. Ooh, it's the 202 having a hiccup coming off the turn 3. Collecting the 59, and that is Ryan Nicoletta. Let's bring it back for you a little bit further so we can see what's happening here. The 202 car, the 59 is on his inside. Coming off turn 3, and it looks like the 202 just runs out of room there. There's a wall there, and turns it around, slams it into the 59. Both of these guys damaged. Ooh, and once again, that 59 smoking like a chimney. That is bad news because that means that there is major repairs needed on the engine, and that is time-consuming business. So Ryan Nicoletta, let's see where his situation is. I don't believe Ryan Nicoletta is anywhere close on being in there. Kevin Nicoletta is in, or at least close to being in. I don't believe Ryan Nicoletta is close to getting this worked out. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, no, I missed his name here. Ryan Nicoletta is in the playoffs on points. So at least he doesn't have to worry about that. And they're already in the pits. As I was looking up their names, we were still on the replay, but it looks like Jason Nicholas and Ryan Nicoletta are in the pits. And let's check on Casey Duncan. Casey Duncan is 3 laps down, and that wouldn't hurt him either. He only needs 15 points to be in, so he's safe. He's safe. All right, so at the top of the field here we have Roger Matthias. No problems for him. Matt Miller. Matt Miller is also safe, especially since he's up there. Mike Perry is safe. Andrew Moore is safe. Kurt Rittenberg. It looks like Kurt Rittenberg is not safe, but he is way up there. He needs 61 points. Ooh, and they're all coming into the pits right now. If he can maintain that 5th position, he would be doing pretty good business. Although, well, he needs 61 points. Sixth position would pay him 38, so he might be in trouble. He's one of the guys that has a mathematical chance, but not a realistic one, I would say. All right, so the only one that is staying out there is Kevin Nicoletta, pitted last on lap 35, so he's kind of thinking I can pull this off maybe. He's not going to make it on fuel from lap 35. The guys that are in the pits now, they might be able to make it, because the pit window would be about 18, 19, maybe 20 laps. So 19 laps to the finish. We're not racing just yet. Yellows breed yellows. So the guys that are in the pit now, that are coming off of pit road as we start lap 42, they might be in good shape. And that would mean that Andrew Moore is the first of those guys that would do that. And Matthias in second, so Moore beat him off pit road. Miller in third, Perry in fourth, Rittenberg is in sixth, Pocono in seventh, Jason Branch in eighth, Brian Rainville, and then David Oliver in 10th. Andrew Mraz is in 11th, and that would be a place where he would want to be to get in the playoffs. He needs I'm not sure how much he needs. And the number 6 going into the pits there, that's Tommy Ryan, followed by Jeff Ryan in the number 3. Jason Nicholas is still in the pits. Doesn't look like there's going to be a whole lot of movement there. And Ryan Nicoletta doesn't look to be in too bad of a shape. Oh, that engine was smoking. He may have had to call it a night as well. That's unfortunate for him, but like I said, that's not going to hurt him. If I am correct, Ryan Nicoletta is in the playoffs on points already. Things look different for Kevin. Kevin needs 28 points. He would definitely make it in with a win. But he has pitted last on lap 35, so that once again just puzzles me. Why not go in? You know, if you go in now, you're going to make it. With fuel from lap 35, you're not going to make it. You know that for a fact. But maybe we'll have a chance to talk to some of these guys and find out if I can remember all of them, because we've had that early on in the race as well. I'm not even sure who that was. I think that was Miraz. So, except for your current leader, I am fairly sure that everybody's going to make it on fuel. It looks like Nicoletta opted to stay on the outside here for the restart. There he goes.
Green flag.
He's on older tires, but lighter fuel load. So let's see what Kevin can make of this. He's going to desperately need that yellow to make that work. Otherwise, he'll be at the tail end of the field. I just don't see him making it on fuel. So Matt Miller picks up second position. Ooh, it looks like Matthias is caught out there on the high side, dropping back to fourth position. Now they're closing back in. Side by side, Andrew Moore lead in the pack. Matt Miller, Mike Perry, Kurt Rittenberg, they're all there together. And it looks like Matthias just lucked out on that higher side, dropping back to seventh position. Andrew Moore now picking up second position there in the 77 car. That means that Matt Miller dropped back quite a bit. Mike Perry is racing him for third position right now. Coming to his inside, trying to at least. He's not quite there. The 00 of Rittenberg right behind him. Then it's Matthias coming back from his little mishap there. In sixth position now, Kondo Po in seventh, Jason Branch in eighth, Muraz in ninth, and Brian Rainville is your 10th place driver. Kevin Nicoletta in the front here, already being chased down by Andrew Moore. And Mike Perry there in third with a group of Rittenberg, Matthias, and Miller there behind him. Let's check here on your leaders. Andrew Moore going after Kevin Nicoletta. Kevin Nicoletta's tires are a lot older, about 6-7 laps older than the other guys, and these are long laps here at Pocono, 2.5 miles. 7-7 of Andrew Moore chasing him down already, and it looks like Mike Perry is doing the same thing. He's closing that gap to the leaders here. Then it's Rittenberg and Matthias. Matthias back up in fifth. They're all single file now. Ooh, look at the lead there. We're going 3 wide into turn 1. It is Mike Perry picking up the lead in front of Andrew Moore and Kevin Nicoletta now in third. The 5 of Roger Matthias right behind him. Kurt Rittenberg right there in the 00 on the high side. Pondo Co in 6th. Let's check on Mike Perry here. Mike Perry has Andrew Moore with him. There's a little bit of a half a car length between there coming off of turn 3. I'm sorry, that was turn 2. Now we're going to turn 3. The 41 of Nicoletta hanging on to third position with Rittenberg now right behind him. Roger Matthias in 5th. Mike Perry in front. It looks like Andrew Moore has a little bit of trouble to keep up with Mike Perry here. Kevin Nicoletta is in third, hanging on for dear life. And then it's Matthias coming to the inside of Rittenberg, and that is for the 4th position. Pondo Co in the number 9 car right behind the 00. But it looks like Matthias picks up that, it looks like Rittenberg's coming back on the outside, coming towards turn 2. Side by side, and it looks like Branch is coming in there as well. He's underneath Pondo Co now. He's got Miraz right behind him in the 028. The 00 and the 5. That's Kevin Nicoletta. I'm sorry, that is Kurt Rittenberg and Roger Matthias. Then, Branch and Pondo Co get together there.
Caution, yellow flag.
Ooh, that does not look good. Let's bring that back for you. Let's close it up a little bit. The 22 of Jason Branch, and it looks like Pondo Co just comes down a little bit too much, unaware of how close the 22 car was. And then the 3 of Jeff Ryan runs into the 9, can't avoid the spun around car there. And it looks like the number 9 of Pondo Co smoking. Bad news. Jeff Ryan took a tow here into the pits. That does not look good for him either. Very, very unfortunate. There you have him. Casey Duncan's still running. He's 2 laps behind, but he's still hanging in there. So we have Jeff in the pit. We have Nicholas standing in the pits, and Ryan Nicoletta. We haven't seen those guys move for a while. So let's go check on Pondo Co here. Smoking car, bent up back end, bent up front end. Not sure if there would still be a fast repair for him. I seriously doubt it. He's been involved in some of the other incidents as well. He's coming into the pits right now. And well, it's still running, but that was pretty much an overstatement probably. So if there's no fast repairs left, I'm fairly sure he'll be parking it. Yep, he decides to park it, not very elegantly. I'm sure he's disappointed. I can understand. All right, let's go check on the leader here. That's Mike Perry in the number 2 car. Andrew Moore in the number 77 car is in second position. Then it's Kevin Nicoletta in third, and I'm still wondering, there might be something wrong with my scoring, but if I were him, I would be going in for fuel as we speak. I mean, he needs to. There he goes. And he's not alone. Mike Perry is doing the same thing, and that is surprising as well. Because those guys should have all been good for fuel, but I guess they're not happy, excuse me, they're not happy with the tires. And it looks like one that is happy is, or just making a gamble, I guess, or taking a gamble, that is Jordan Berry. So Andrew Moore in the 77 car stayed out, and Jordan Berry stayed out. So they're now picking up the first two positions. And then we'll have to wait and see who comes off of pit road there. That's the 00 of Rittenberg. That's coming off first. Then it's Matthias. Then we see Perry coming out. Miraz is coming out, the white and orange car. Kevin Nicoletta on your right there, the black car. Then it's, nope, that was the white car. Sorry, I'm mixing the Nicolettas up. Rainville, that's your dark black car here. Then it's Tommy Ryan, Jason Branch, Matt Miller, Indiana Wise. He's having a tough night too. Randy Perdue, David Dolliver coming out, Jeff Ryan coming out. So he got that thing back up and running, and it actually looks pretty good. He still have that fast repair? It definitely looks like it. Pocono is done. Casey Duncan is coming back in again. I think he's just pretty much using every chance he get in the pits to get that car fixed back up. He's still running. He's now, what is it? Probably 3 laps behind, something like that. There he goes, back out. So there you have the ones that stayed out, and they're the only ones that would try to finish this race on tires that are now already 10 laps old. They pitted on lap 41, and with the yellows that we've had, I'm fairly sure they're going to make it on fuel. It would have been a mistake to stay out if they would not be able to make it on fuel. That would have been a costly mistake. They're now running for the race. Andrew Moore and Jordan Berry are already both locked in, so they don't have to worry about the playoffs. Let's quickly check here on Indiana Wise in the 31 car. He's still running. He's had a tough night. He's been in the pits several times. Jordan Berry's having a tough night as well, but looks like he's back up front here now, taking a gamble with tires and maybe also with fuel. Like I said, I'm pretty sure they'll be able to make it. We've had plenty of yellows. Obviously, they'll save a lot of fuel under yellow. All right, we're coming off turn 2, coming towards turn 3. Pace car will be going in. We're nicely lined up here. Double file. Andrew Moore on the inside, Jordan Berry on the outside. Then it's Rittenberg on the inside of row 2 and Matthias on the outside of row 2. Then we have Perry and Miraz on row 3. There you see them coming. And it looks like
Green flag.
Jeff Ryan and Casey Duncan holding off in the back there a little bit while the party gets going here in front with Andrew Moore in first position on the inside towards turn 1. It's Jordan Berry on his outside. It's Roger Matthias on the high side as well, with Rittenberg on the lower side. It looks like they're 3 wide there going through turn 1. That's Perry, that's Miraz, and that's Matthias there, side by side, 3 wide. And it looks like Matthias is still hanging on there. Now it's Miraz shown in third, And he comes down to the inside here in turn 2 and picks up third position in front of Matthias and Rittenberg. Then it's Perry and Rainville. There you see Mr. Rainville in the 60 car with Perry on his high side. Then it's the 41 of Kevin Nicoletta. And he's got Jason Branch coming after him there on the high side. Let's go back up front. It's still Andrew Moore. It's now Mraz in second. He's past Jordan Berry. Berry now in third with Matthias in fourth. Let's go back up here and see what Mraz can do with the number 028. He needs a win, and he wants it, and he's going for it. He's coming down there towards turn 2, picks up the lead. Andrew Moore has not much of a defense for him, and it looks like Mraz is running away a car length already coming into turn 3. So it's Mraz in the lead. It's Andrew Moore in second and Jordan Berry in third. Then it's Matthias in fourth and Mike Perry now in fourth. Rittenberg there coming under pressure from the 60 of Brian Rainville coming into turn 1. And it looks like Matthias is coming to the inside of Jordan Berry. Those older tires are just not working for him. Perry coming underneath him as well, so it looks like Jordan Berry drops back to fourth or maybe even fifth position as Mike Perry makes his way past there as well, coming towards turn 2. Jordan Berry has to settle for fifth. It's Mraz that's still picking.
The yellow flag is out.
I already thought I heard some screeching there. It's a 78. Oh boy. That is Matt Miller with a huge crash. Let's go check on him. Oh, he gets a little tap from Indiana Wise in the turn there. And that sends him flying and spinning into the wall. We can bring it back a little bit further for you. The blue car comes to the inside of Indiana Wise now. Into turn 2. As they both come down, it looks like the 78 doesn't stay low enough there. He should have been closer to that yellow line, and he just gets a little bit of a tap in the back from Indiana Wise, and that sends him spinning and flying all over the place. And there he is, taking a tow. Not sure if he still has that fast repair. For his sake, I hope so. I don't remember if he took one. I think he's been out of trouble. Been staying out of trouble quite well, but I can't remember. Well, that's going to bunch him back up with less than 5 laps to go by the time we go back to racing. Andrew Mraz might be doing some good work here, picking up that win. And as I said, he was one of the guys that mathematically had a chance to get into the playoffs, and I would not be able to tell you right now whether this would be enough. Would he be okay on wins? I'm not sure. I'm not sure. And he would need quite a bit of points. I'm sure he's one of the guys that has a mathematical chance. So his own victory would not guarantee him of anything. It also depends on where all the others finish, whether he actually has enough points to make that. We see Rittenberg in the background going into the pits. And we also have seen David Dolliver and Jeff Ryan go into the pits. Matt Miller is still there. I'm fairly sure that is a done deal. So these guys are picking up some new tires, and maybe well, fuel's not an issue anymore. They're just picking up new tires. All those guys pitted lastly on lap 49. So everybody should be good for fuel. There's David Dolliver, Jeff Ryan. That car still looks all right. And then we have our leaders here pacing around. Let's go see if we can find Indiana Wise here. That car looks to be okay. And then Rittenberg coming back out of the pits. David Dolliver coming back out of the pits. Jeff Ryan back out, and Matt Miller, excuse me, is still sitting there. I'm not really sure whether he's going to make it back out. Currently on lap 56. So if the lights on the pace car will go out next lap, we'll be on lap 57. That'll give us 3 more laps to go to settle this thing here. Like I said, we'll stick around a little bit longer after the race than usual and see if we can find out a little bit more about the playoff drivers, who they are, and maybe we get a couple of words in with them. And like I said, Andrew Mraz, a win would obviously give him a good chance. I'm not sure if a race win is good enough for him because you also have to have a minimum amount of races, I believe, to be able to lock yourself in with a win. I'm not sure if he has enough races. And then obviously as many points as he needs, then it's going to make a difference where everybody else is at. David Dolliver should be good. He needs 18 points. He will definitely get 18 points today, even if he finishes last, so he'll be okay. Kevin Nicoletta, where is he at the moment? He's running 8th. That would get him in. So it'll make a difference where everybody else finishes before Andrew Mraz can really be happy. It looks like Andrew is opting also for that outside line on the restart. That brings Andrew Moore to his inside, and then behind him it'll be Matthias and Perry. Perry on the high side, Matthias on the lower side. Then we have Jordan Berry and Brian Rainville on that fourth row there. Third row, I should say. Jason Branch, Kevin Nicoletta behind them. There we go. It's Andrew Mraz waiting for the call on the radio, and he pulls away from Andrew Moore by about 2 car lengths. It looks like Andrew Moore gets a little help from Matthias, pushing him towards turn 1. It looks like Andrew Mraz is setting himself up wide and coming down to the inside. He takes the lead. Andrew Moore in second, Mike Perry in third, right on the high side there of the 77. He picks up second position for now. And it looks like Matthias is coming with him there on the high side. 77 of Moore dropping back to fourth place with Jordan Berry right behind him. Jordan Berry may have had the luck that those tires cooled down quite a bit during the yellow, obviously. But he has Jason Branch behind him now. And let's go back up to the front here because it's Mike Perry that picks up second position. Andrew Moore has brought it to the side of Matthias once again. So they're battling for third and fourth here with Jordan Berry in the draft of the 5. Coming towards turn 1. Andrew Mraz still in the lead. We're on lap 59. We have 2 to go. And it looks like Matthias looked out on that higher side, scrapes the wall. Ooh. And in the back of the field, we have things going wrong a little bit harder. Let's see if we can find out what's going on there. That looks like Indiana Wise getting a tap from the 00. I hope that's not payback. That would not be good. But, there you have him. They're going into one. Oh, and it's just the 00 just gets offline, off balance there a little bit, and taps that 31 in the rear end. Looks like Indiana Wise is all right, except for that left rear on that car. It's only 2 laps to go. He'll be all right. He's going into the pits. Or at least he took the escape route there in turn 3. There's actually a road course here at Pocono as well. It's a bit of tricky road course. Indiana Wise back into the pits. It sounds like that car's coasting. I don't even hear the engine running. No, it's running. It's running. It's just in a high gear. So out there on the track, it looks like we're going to do a green-white checker to settle this thing. So Mraz will have to defend his hopes for a win here once again for 2 laps. It looks pretty strong. But so does Mike Perry, and so does Andrew Moore and Jordan Berry. Jordan is on older tires. That's why he's struggling a little bit maybe. It looked like Matthias was struggling coming off of that first turn as well, scrubbing the wall. We can try to find if there's a lot of damage to that car on the right side. It's not going to hurt him all that much. There you see it. Yeah, he's going into the pits. And this is another one that just, unless there's damage that really hurts the car, why would you go in the pits with 2 laps to go? You're going way down to order. You're pretty much giving up your entire chances to win this race. And I know that he is locked into the playoffs, but we're still racing for a win here. And he drops back quite a bit. Going back out here, and he took tires, and he may have had a faster pair. Let's see if we can tell. Yeah, he had a faster pair. That was his reason for doing so, but still, now he is going to be in 12th position. There's 2 laps to go. He might be gambling on more yellows. That would give him another shot at it, but 12 cars to pass on a few laps, that is that's quite a hill to climb. Let's see, we have Jeff Ryan coming back into the pits once again. Now Jeff was running in 13th anyway. He is not on the lead lap anymore, I don't believe, so it doesn't matter that much for him. And did we see somebody going out? That was Ryan Nicoletta in the 59 car. He's running in the 17th position. He's also 6 laps behind the leaders probably. He's still running, still hanging on. He's locked in points, so he doesn't care that much. And it looks like the pace car lights are out. We're going to attempt another green-white checkered here. We're going to line them up double file to get this thing settled. And Indiana is still in the pits, it looks like. Yeah, I think he's called it a night. And we have Andrew Mraz alongside Mike Perry there in front. Then it's Andrew Moore alongside Jordan Berry and Jason Branch alongside Brian Rainville. Kevin Nicoletta alongside Tommy Ryan in the black and yellow car there, the number 6. And that's how we're going to try and settle this. 2 laps. Well, and it definitely would be cool for Andrew Mraz if he would make it in with this win. That would be a good payoff for his hard work here. Nicely lined up here, close together. There he goes. Mraz is a little earlier on the gas than he was the last time. He picks up a couple of car lengths here on Mike Perry. It's Andrew Moore on the inside of Mike Perry coming towards turn one. There you see them coming. It looks like Andrew Moore picks up that second position already before we get there. But Mike Perry has a little bit more momentum on that middle line in the turn. Ooh, we see the 60 going high. Side by side towards turn two. A whole group of cars there, 2 and 3 wide. Andrew Moore and Mike Perry battling for that second position. They almost touched there. Then it's Jason Branch picking up the fourth position, and he is duking it out with Tommy Rind. Mike Perry nosing ahead of Andrew Moore again in turn three. It looks like Andrew Mraz is well out in front, picking up that white flag. One more lap to go. Mike Perry in second, fighting with Andrew Moore. Andrew Moore coming to his inside once again. Turn one, can he bring it up front? He is nosing ahead into turn one, and it looks like the number two is going to pull the classic over-under move there. Staying high on the entry and then coming low on the exit. He picks back up that number two position from Andrew Moore. Still side by side into turn two. This is your final lap, folks. It's Andrew Mraz that looks like he's going to pick up that that needed win. Hopefully it'll get him there. Then Mike Perry in second, Andrew Moore in third. Turn three, your final turn here. It looks like it's Mike Perry that keeps it in front of the number 77 car. Let's give Andrew Mraz the moment he deserves. He brings it across the line in first position. Andrew Mraz picks up the win here in Pocono. It's Mike Perry in second, Andrew Moore in third, Tommy Ryan in fourth. It's Jason Branch in fifth. Kevin Nicoletta is in sixth. And then it's Roger Matthias in seventh, Kurt Rittenberg in the 00 in eighth, Brian Rainville in ninth, and David Dolliver is in sixth. What an exciting finish to this race there for second place, especially between Mike Perry and Andrew Moore. Your winner is Andrew Mraz, and I am rooting for this guy. I hope this win pays off for him and gets him into that playoff for this season. I think he showed this race that he deserves it. He's been up there in the front of the field quite a few times as I've seen him. I'm not sure if he's run the whole season. I'm kind of thinking he didn't. I think he came in later, but I'm not 100% sure. I was not here for the whole season either. There you have him running his donuts. Celebrations right there by the flag stand. Pocono Raceway, 60 laps under his belt. It's Andrew Mraz coming home on top in front of Mike Perry and Andrew Moore. And let's go see your results here really quickly. Ooh, gotta change a little thing to get him here. There you have him. Mraz, Perry, Moore, and then Ryan Branch, Kevin Nicoletta, Roger Matthias, Kurt Rittenberg, Brian Rainville, David Dolliver, Jeff Ryan, Jordan Berry, Randy Perdue, Casey Duncan was a lap down. Indiana Weiss didn't make it rolling over the finish. He's 5 laps down. Then Ryan Nicoletta, Matt Miller, and Jason Nicholas, your 18th finishers here. All right, let's go find somebody. We have Andrew Mraz here in the waiting room. Andrew Mraz, congratulations, my friend. You brought it home in first place. I have no idea if that's enough for you to take it to the playoffs, but I hope for your sake that it is. You couldn't do any better than this tonight. Talk me through this race, sir.
Oh, the beginning part was amazing. Thank you again for broadcasting this. First win here. It was a tough race, definitely. Some cautions didn't pan out. One stage one, stage two, I believe I got eighth. Um, got involved in a wreck that totaled out my truck, so I had a tow and got a lap down, got a lap back, and then just played it smart and finished it off and held people off towards the end. Those cautions definitely helped.
Absolutely, and it looked like on that final restart for the last green white checkered, you looked like you had a pretty good jump on the start, and you really never looked back. I mean, it was like 2 car lengths, and that was kind of it. I mean, Mike Perry was there fighting with the 77, and they didn't have anything for you. They were just occupied with each other there.
Yeah, that's what I was planning on. The couple of time for the couple of cautions there, the last two, I was trying to gauge who I can have help me, so to speak. And 77 happened to be there, and I took advantage of it. With him definitely having 8 lap older tires than the rest of the field.
Yeah, were the tires were the tires a big deal after the end of a stint, or was it all right?
Definitely, tires are pretty much king after 5 laps, and if you go 5, 10, even 15 laps and you stay out, you're gonna get your doors blown off with in the corners because you have the extra grip and going down the short chute, going into turn three.
I see. Well, do you have any idea whether this is going to bring you into the playoffs, or did you not run enough races this year?
I believe this gets me into the playoffs. Doesn't uh, guarantee my way in with that win, but definitely point my way in. So with this race right before, I was 6 points into the good because someone backed out, gave up their spot because of other commitments. So I was 6 points to the good, and I believe this win in stage one definitely helped.
Yeah, that'll pick you up at least 55, if not more points. So yeah, that means you're looking good. As far as my information tells me, you were the first one in the row of drivers that had a mathematical chance. But you are right, Adam Pettit has withdrawn from the playoffs, so that opens up his spot as well. So that is good news for you. Congratulations once again, Andrew. Any thank yous and love yous you want to throw out there?
Yeah, I'd like to thank Lowline Racing for giving me an amazing truck sponsorship. Without them helping me practicing for these races, I probably would not be able to be as competitive as I would be. Um, Pretty much my teammates at 4X Racing, Casey, Jason, and Ron Schute's not here, but him as well. Definitely the league admins, Lauren Wise and Scott Wise, for putting this on.
All right. Thank you very much, Andrew. And once again, congratulations, my friend.
Thank you very much, Mark.
All right. Let's bring in second place finisher Mike Perry. It looked like he was running a pretty strong race there. Can you hear me, Mike? Mike Perry, can you hear me?
Yeah, Mark, I got you.
All right, there you are. Mike, you were running a pretty strong race all race long. I think everybody has had their fair share of some issues and yellows falling at the wrong moments and incidents and stuff like that. But you were right there at the end. You looked pretty strong on the first green white checkered that we had there, and then on the second one it looked like you were more busy fighting off with Andrew Moore there instead of being able to go after Andrew.
Yeah, I had a little bit of a brain fart there. Rule is you have to stay single file or stay in your lane until you get past the start finish line, and I changed lanes there, and it just didn't work out for me there.
So you were one of the guys that pitted last on lap 49, so you guys were pretty good on tires and fuel there at the end, right?
Yeah, you can get about 13 or 14 laps, so we were good for fuel there.
Good deal. Because I was kind of wondering, maybe you can help me with that too. I'm not sure if you were one of the guys that stayed out in the beginning. There was like I believe it was like lap 12 or 11 or something like that. There was a yellow, and a bunch of guys were staying out. And I'm thinking, if your fuel window is 14 to 18 laps, why would you not take advantage of that yellow? Do you remember that?
I do. I think the stage points um, ended on lap 15. I think a few guys that were on the bubble to make the chase tried to stay out or stayed out to try to collect those points, and I was one of them. But I probably, looking back at it, probably should have pitted, like you said.
Yeah, I was going to say because I mean you guys were forced because of that to pit under green, and then I will say you got a little lucky because you didn't go down a lap on a long track like this, but you were like 35 seconds behind the rest of the pack, and then another yellow brought you back up there. But if that would not have happened, you would have been in a little bit bigger trouble, I believe.
No, you're exactly right. That caution came out right at the right time, so I got a little lucky there. I ran out of fuel. I don't even know what caution that was. So yeah, it was kind of a hectic race. I'm just glad I got a decent finish. The last 3 or 4 weeks has been hectic for me. So like I said, I'm just glad to finish one.
Right, I'm sure you are, and congratulations again on that second place, Mike. You are in the playoffs as a race winner. So, what are your expectations for the playoffs? What are you looking What are you looking forward to? What are your worries? What do you think is going to happen?
I got a lot of confidence these next couple races. I just, like I said, we've had some bad luck here recently, but I look to turn everything around. And there's a couple of fast guys, so it'll be fun to watch the next few races here.
Who do you think are the biggest favorites, aside from yourself, obviously? But who do you think are the biggest favorites?
Well, I think Andrew just locked himself in with that win tonight, so he's one of them. There's a few other guys, Andrew Moore, and of course my teammates. So it's all tough. So
Gotcha, gotcha. All right, Mike. Thanks very much for you sharing that all with me. Any love yous and thank yous you want to throw out there?
I got to thank my teammates, David Dolliver, Matt Miller, Kurt Rittenberg, Jeremy Rittenberg, and all those guys at Misfit Motorsports for trying to get that team championship. So we'll see how it goes. And I also got some family members watching the broadcast, so I appreciate you putting it on, man. It's always fun.
You're most welcome. I enjoy doing it, sir. Thank you.
Mark.
Oh, give me just a second here. I'm looking for Andrew Moore. Andrew Moore, can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you, Mark. How you doing?
Sorry that took me a couple of minutes to get you in here. I couldn't get you moved. Third place position here in this race. You fighting there at the end with Mike Perry. That was a pretty exciting finish for you.
Yeah, the last past few races have been really good. We started off strong. The whole team did, was going pretty good there. A couple of mishaps. I think I got spun out once, but I had that fast repair and got right back up there. Um, but yeah,
So were you one of the drivers? I think there was a yellow like around lap 10 or 11. I'm not sure exactly which one it was, but it was right before that fuel window, I believe, was somewhere like 15 to 16 laps, and there was a bunch of guys staying out. Were you one of them? And I was just wondering about that.
yep. Yeah, I try to stay out as much as I can here. Plus, for the stage points, we did pretty good in the first stage, but I think right before the second stage is when I got spun there, so that was a little bit of a bust. But in this track, there's not a whole ton of tire wear, even less than say maybe even Texas. But yeah, we're trying to go for the long game.
I hear you. I hear you. Okay, then I mean, you guys were forced to pit under green and dropped you guys back to like I don't know 35 seconds behind the rest of the pack. So yeah, I get you needed that yellow following after that. It's kind of the lucky break to catch back up. Otherwise, you would have been in trouble though.
Yeah, we were mostly counting on another pit or another caution at some point. At that pit stop, most of us only took 2 tires, so we were out pretty quick. So if any sort of caution would have come out, we all would have got back on the lead lap.
Yeah, the good thing is that the Pocono is fairly long with 2.5 miles, so you don't really go down a full lap right away.
You can take a little breather.
Exactly. Yeah. All right. Well, Andrew, you're in the playoffs as well. You're locked in as a race winner already. You were not under any threat tonight. Here, you were solidly in already. What are your expectations for the playoffs? Who do you worry about the most?
Right now, it definitely would be Mike and Andrew Mraz. Andrew Mraz came in pretty late. I'm glad to see him get a win here on an official race. He definitely deserved a win and to get in the playoffs. He's one of the better drivers out here.
So that's one of the guys that worry you.
Oh yeah, yep.
What about Matthias and Jordan Berry, guys like that?
Oh yeah, they're always strong contenders. Um, there's a few other ones in there too, but mostly those two guys.
I hear you. Okay, well, Andrew, thank you very much for letting me know that. Once again, congratulations on a third place finish. Good and strong finish here for you tonight. Any love yous and thank yous you want to throw out there?
Sure. Any thanks to any of my family that's watching, and always to the Wises and the Blown Piston League. It was a great race tonight. Have a good one, Mark.
You too, man. Thank you very much. All right, Jason Branch, can you hear me, sir? This is Mark in the booth.
Yeah, how you doing, Mark?
I'm doing well. Let me see if I can recall real quickly. Fifth place finish for you tonight. You are already locked into the playoffs on points. How did this race today go for you?
You know, this race actually was pretty good. Get some momentum going into the playoffs. The last 3 weeks has been really rough for me. I think Monza, I got taken out and had 30 minutes of repairs. And then the last 2 weeks, I finished toward the back. I'm just lucky I had enough points that I was able to kind of just race my race this race and see where it ended up. I really wished that we would have had a couple more laps there at the end. I had newer tires than a couple of the guys. I think I could have got up there and battled for third or second, and then we just ran out of laps.
Yeah, I will say that the race, especially near the end, was a little bit hindered by yellows following each other fairly quickly, and that I mean it just kind of hurts your progress, doesn't it?
Yeah, I had a quick truck all night, and my pit strategy worked out pretty well. And the last caution before the green white checkered, I had a run on 3 guys, and we just all kind of got together, and it put a little dent in the side of my car and slowed me down just a little bit for that green white checkered. So I will take a fifth any day with a little bit of damage.
I hear you, man. I hear you absolutely. All right, thank you very much, Jason. Good luck in the playoffs. What do you think your chances are?
Uh, you know, if it wasn't for the last 3 weeks, I run pretty consistent, so I think we might have a shot at this. I didn't get a win this year, so I'm already starting in a hole. But we got 5 more weeks. If I can just string together some finishes like I did tonight, I think we'll have a chance.
Now, I'm not sure how you guys do the playoffs, but would a win lock you in the next round as well?
I'm not sure how they're going to do the playoffs. I haven't got that far yet.
Okay, but you're counting on your consistency then.
Yeah.
Well, it sounds like a plan to me. I do believe you're right. I mean, you're always a strong runner in every race I've broadcasted so far, except for Monza when you got into big trouble. But most of the races, you're somewhere in the upper half of the pack all the time, pretty much. So I wish you good luck for the playoffs, Jason. Anybody you want to thank, you shout out to tonight, or throw some love yous out there?
Yeah, I just want to, shout out my family, putting up with me uh, during these times where I'm here racing. And
Is that
for
bad,
the
huh?
Navy, 23 years in the Navy has always done me good. So you'll always see a Navy car sponsor on my car.
Absolutely great, man. We thank you for your service, and we wish you the best of luck in the playoffs. And I'm counting on you being a factor.
Well, I hope I am too. Thanks.
Thank you, Jason. All right, let's see who else we can bring up here. Moving these names around is a little tricky here on this computer. Scott Wise, can you hear me?
Yeah, I got you, Mark. How you doing tonight?
I am doing well. I'm trying to keep up with all this stuff here, Scott. You guys are not making it easy for me, but that's okay. Just wanted to talk to you. You're one of the guys locked into the into the playoffs on points. I don't believe it was your night tonight.
No, it definitely was not my night tonight. It's been some rough luck. KC getting slung up into me and then getting caught in a couple things right at the end. It kind of crippled the truck a little bit, but it is what it is. I came in tonight just kind of shooting for get a couple extra playoff points. Unfortunately, didn't meet that goal, but it was a fun night. This is one of my favorite tracks, and looking forward to the next five.
What do you think your chances are, Scott? Because you're locked in points. Does that mean you haven't had a win this season at all?
I've not been fortunate enough to have a win yet this season, but it's been a pretty strong season most of the way. The five tracks coming up, I'm fairly decent at. I'm really looking forward to Talladega in about 3 weeks. That's one of my bread and butter. Uh, Kentucky, we just based on running official a couple weeks ago. I ran pretty good there, so I'm feeling my chances are good. Phoenix, the truck was strong on the official side, so I'm feeling good there when we get to that point. Yeah. Yeah, so chances are there, but Andrew Perez is going to wind up being some tough competition.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure if I should have seen this somewhere already, but I'm fairly sure he's going to get into the playoffs, right?
Yes, he is. His win doesn't qualify him automatically because of how late he started in the season, but he had strong enough runs to get himself up to 15th in points, which was good enough to qualify him. And looking forward to running with him and learning from him.
That's exactly what I thought. I mean, he didn't start early in the season, so I believe you needed how many races to be able to make that win count?
Needed to run at least 7 out of the 10 in the regular season for a win in your end.
Okay, gotcha. So he's going to be in on his points then.
Yes, sir.
All right, Scott. I'm going to try and find some more people here to talk to real quickly. Let me see. Oh, Kevin Kevin Nicoletta is in. I'm fairly sure. Do I see that correctly?
Yes, he is.
Kevin Nicoletta. This is Mark in the booth. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
All right, Kevin, it looks like you are going through to the playoffs there. Tonight was not your easiest night, I don't think. I want to ask you about you staying out there when you pitted on lap 39, and then there was a yellow, I believe it was right around lap 49, and you decided to stay out. And that kind of told me that, you would not be able to make it on fuel if you would have to race to the end. Now, luckily you didn't have to, but why did you stay out? Did you choose position and gamble on yellows there?
First and foremost, I'd like to thank Scott and Lauren Wise for putting together the Blown Piston Racing League. They've done an awesome job with that. And yeah, that strategy was I felt like I would be able to make it to the end. The way the race had been going, I just felt there'd be a few more cautions, and that gas wasn't going to be a factor at that point.
Okay, so yeah, basically gambling a little bit on fuel, and yellows getting you to the end there. Then ultimately, I do believe you did go back into the pits before the race end. I believe it was lap 49. I'm not really sure if it was or not. So does that mean you kind of rethought that strategy because others were too, or what was the deal there?
Yeah, well, when I was up front, I was able to control the restart more and get more of a jump off the green. But being back in the pack a little bit, I just figured that I might as well get some tires because I wasn't going to be able to keep a gap off the start.
Okay, so you kind of went more for playing it a little bit secure there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so if I'm informed correctly, you're going to go through to the playoffs. What are your expectations for the playoffs? What do you think your chances are?
So I'm glad that I made the playoffs. Entering this league is the first one I've been in. I was just kind of hoping to get it in the top 12 at least, or 13, whatever is paying out for points in the league, and I'd be completely satisfied with that. There's a lot of great guys out here that have been doing this for a while, and they're really good at this. So I mean, if I can somehow get into the money a little bit, I'd be completely satisfied.
Awesome. All right, Kevin, I wish you the best of luck. Any love yous and thank yous you want to throw out there besides the organizers that you already mentioned?
Well, do a great job with the short shift broadcasting, and then my teammates Ryan and Andrew Moore. They're great teammates to have.
All right, I appreciate you saying that, sir. And one final question: is Ryan family to you?
Yeah, he's my cousin.
All right, I wasn't sure. I just needed to find out somehow. All right, Kevin, thank you very much.
All right, you have a good one.
You too. And meanwhile, I pulled up Randy Purdue. Randy, how you doing? Can you hear me?
Sure can. Good evening to you.
Good evening to you, sir. It looked like you brought it home in 13th position. I think you had your fair share of troubles this evening. Can you talk us through the race tonight?
Yeah, I actually thought I was going to be doing well. I had some strategy that kind of got thrown out the window, and I don't know, for some reason, on a couple of occasions, I had tough issues. The truck would just get really, really tight randomly on the exit of corner, and it take off. And that's what happened to me right there on that last green white checker. Come out of forward, and that thing just all of a sudden it just pushed, and I hit the wall.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it was you, but I believe that near the beginning of the race, at one of the restarts in the beginning of the race, did you drop back pretty much to the end of the line because of some issue, or was that not you?
Uh, I'm not sure what lap it was, but I did have an issue off of one where I had the same thing happen. Just out of the blue, just decided to be tight, and I tagged the wall there in one, and it sent me down to the bottom. And I thought I had it saved, and apparently there's like a drain grate down there, and I hit that sucker, and it just launched me right into the inside
Yes,
wall.
I remember that. I remember you were trying so hard to stay out of everybody's way there. I shouldn't laugh about it, but it was so cool to watch. You were trying so hard to stay out of everybody's way. Everybody was trying to stay out of your side there. That was pretty cool. But yeah, I could tell you hit something on that apron there. Indeed. Did you
Yeah,
have?
somebody said
Did you?
drain grate.
Go ahead. Sorry.
Somebody said it was a drain grate. I didn't see it. All I know is the truck just launched.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and because if that would not have happened, you would have saved it off the wall. I'm fairly sure of that, because that kind of got you in that inside wall and sent you back on the track. If that drain wouldn't have been there or whatever it was, then you would have been just rolling just fine.
Yeah, I had it straightened out and thought, okay, well, I saved it, and I'll just cruise on and try to do the best I can at that point, and maybe we'll get a caution and get it fixed and catch back up. But just out of the blue, it launched, and
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, it was a little funny to see that. That's for sure. All right, Randy, you are in the playoffs. You got there on points. You weren't exactly locked in at the beginning of this race, but the fact that you got here was enough already. Were you worried about it at all? Or were you thinking about it at all during the race? Or
well, actually, with with the amount we had in the field, all I had to do was start, and it locked me in. So that was good. So the trouble that I had didn't hurt me in that respect, thankfully. But
yeah,
definitely got me in there getting to start.
good deal. What are your expectations for the playoffs? What do you think your chances are?
Uh, I'm hoping to squeeze my way up in there and maybe finish in the top five. I'm not sure that I'll have enough to get up there and bout for the championship, but I think I can get up there and be fairly competitive, maybe in the top five.
Sounds good. Sounds good. I hope you can do it. Randy, thanks very much for talking to us about it. Any love yous and thank yous you want to throw out?
I just like to say thanks to my family for putting up with me while I do all my racing. I do quite a bit of it, and just want to say hey to the guys at Regency Electric. Uh, some of those guys might be watching. I'm not quite sure if they were able to tonight, but hopefully so. And just uh, thanks to Scott and Lauren for putting all this on and doing a great job up there in the broadcast booth.
Thank you very much. Appreciate you saying that. I mean, once again, good luck and thanks for talking to us.
But
David Dolliver, you're also locked into the playoffs here, I believe. You basically just had to take the start here tonight. How did this race go for you, sir?
Not bad. You gotta kind of wait till halfway through before you can really start racing.
How do you mean that? You mean like on the fact that the pack is too tight, or
Right. I mean, you catch a guy and you can't go anywhere. So, well, you cause a big wreck.
right, right? You're all just kind of tugged in together there. You can't go left, you can't go right. That's what you mean, right?
Yep. I mean, you get a good run on a guy and you get caught up to the guy behind, that's in front of you and you really can't go anywhere.
Right. So you basically you made it to 10th position tonight. Happy with that result? Did you hope for better, or what was the deal?
Always hoping for better. So the real racing starts here with the playoffs.
What do you think your chances are, David?
Probably slim to none, but we'll try as hard as we can.
That's the best you can do. That's for sure. Absolutely. All right, David. Thanks very much for talking to us. Anybody you want to thank or shout out to tonight?
Probably you for putting this stuff on. We can't do it without you, so I appreciate you doing what you're doing.
You're most welcome, and I love doing it, sir. I'm hoping to stick with it for a long time.
Okay, take care now.
All right. Thank you, David. All right. Let's find our next guy. Roger, this is Mark in the booth. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. How are you?
I'm doing well. How about yourself?
Pretty good.
Roger, you were fighting for the lead and for the top positions there for a quite good portion of the race. You came home in seventh. What happened?
I hit the wall coming out of one of the turns and figured I already locked in the position, so might as well pit, fix it, and try to make it back up 2 laps to go.
Okay, that explains everything. I mean, it was an eventful race. There's a lot of guys that got caught out a little bit, pushing up, coming off the turns into the wall. What was the grip very low? Was the tires giving you trouble?
Tires were fine for me. I just got caught up behind people hitting the wall or screwing up the turn. Really, just what frustrating night overall.
I hear you. So, Roger, you're locked into the playoffs on a race win. Obviously, what are your expectations for the playoffs? What do you think your chances are?
I'm gonna try out and win. Try to win it all. I know we have some good competition out there, but with the team, Torque Wrench, Scott, Lauren, we should do pretty well.
You're shooting for the top, huh?
Sure. I missed a couple races already this season. I think I would have been a little further up in the standings, but we'll see how it goes.
All right, all right. Well, Roger, I wish you the best of luck. Any thank yous, love yous you want to throw out here tonight?
I just want to thank the team, Scott, Lauren, Pondo, Jason, Mr. Australia. But yeah, and my wife for putting up with the late night racing.
All right, Roger. Thank you very much, and once again, best of luck in the playoffs, sir.
So have a good night.
Jordan is Mark in the booth. Can you hear me?
I got a copy.
How did this evening go for you, man? You were up front there near the end a little bit, and then it looked like you were on older tires than the other guys. Dropped back a little bit, brought it home in what is it, fifth place? No.
That was, I think, maybe even further.
Yeah, 12th position. Yeah, I'm sorry. So, but it looked like for a bit there you were running up front and staying out there, and when the others went to the pits, was that your kind of last chance shot that you were trying to take?
Yeah, in that I took some damage, kind of midway point, I guess, and I'd kind of already used my fast repair, so I decided that I was good enough. Or sorry, I used my fast repair just before that, so I had a clean truck, and I knew that I was basically half a lap good on fuel. So, and I was in, I think, 16th place when everyone pit. So I knew with 10 to go, I wasn't going to lose 16 spots. So I thought, net positive, run some laps on old tires, see how it feels for playoffs. I had nothing to lose other than trying to get the 5 bonus points and the freak accident that I end up winning. So that was basically a strategy. If I fell back to 10th or 11th like I did, that's fine.
Yeah, okay. I mean that's a good choice to make. You can afford to make that choice because you was already locked in anyway. So yeah, why not? So your playoff chances, Jordan. What do you think?
You know what? I think that this league is very competitive. The way they run it with 50% fuel, you always got to think that the 50% fuel also seems to always fall right at that stage point. So you kind of got to decide if you're getting stage points. And to be honest, I'm not 100% sure how the points work in playoffs, if the stage points matter or not. But I think that I'll have a good shot. Andrew getting in obviously shakes things up as he is crazy fast. So he'll have a good chance at making things competitive for all of us. And I think that everyone that's in the playoffs is going to make it a lot of fun to watch for the broadcast. I think we're going to see some really hard racing.
Yeah. Well, the stage points definitely do matter in the playoffs.
All right.
That's kind of what I thought.
Yeah, and Scott, do wins bring you to a next round, or can you briefly explain how the playoffs work?
Yes, if you win a playoff race, you automatically move to the next round. Playoff points carry over from round to round, but a little bit of a difference from other series. If you happen to get eliminated from the playoffs, you revert to normal season points. So the guys that get eliminated early can still have a chance to move up in the standings to kind of keep everybody driving.
Okay, that sounds great. Jordan, any love yous and thank yous you want to throw out there?
Of course, my grandparents are still listening, which probably not. It's pretty late there. My family always loves the broadcast. They love what you do. So thank you and family for watching. Our major sponsor, Realty Executives, Northland Leisure, Rockstar Energy, FXR Racing, and obviously my team, technically Momentum Motorsports as a whole, they help out. But my guys here in this league, in the Discord, we're always chatting about strategy, and it keeps things fun.
All right. Thank you very much, Jordan. I appreciate it.
You again.
All right. We brought in Ryan Nicoletta. Also, if I see it correctly, into the playoffs or not? Yes, you were already in on points, Ryan. Is that correct?
Yes, I am.
Well, how did this race work for you today, man? I do believe you got into some trouble early on, didn't you?
Yeah, I was able to play some strategy early, stay out under caution, and finished, I think, fifth in the first stage. And then there was a caution, I think, with 10 to go before stage two, bunched us back up, and I raced an incident, got in with Kurt Rittenberg, and then he tagged my teammate Andrew Moore Jr.
Yeah, I remember that one. And did you still have a fast repair after that one? I do believe you did.
Yeah, I used my fast repair on that one. Then I ended up getting in another wreck, just racing hard there in stage three with Jason Nicholas. Looks like he tagged the wall, came down, and just got into me. And then I just had 8 minutes repair and was able to get back out there and pick up two positions. And those every point counts.
Absolutely, that's for sure. It's pretty competitive all around, don't you think?
Yeah, this is a tough group. I didn't really expect to turn any heads. I think early in the season, I played some strategy and was surprised myself with a couple finishes, kind of put myself in a decent spot, and then kind of midway through the season, I kind of started falling off just a bit. As long as I can keep playing strategy, hopefully I can advance in the playoffs.
So you're feeling fairly confident you can move up quite a bit.
No, but I'm in the playoffs, so there's a chance.
Just make the best of it, Ryan. That's how it works.
Yeah, my teammates Andrew and Kevin, we got a pretty good battle for the team championship, so I think that'll be more priority for me if I don't advance.
Yeah, yeah. All right, Ryan. I appreciate you talking to us here real quickly. Any love yous and thank yous you want to throw out there before we go?
Yes, I'd like to thank Scott and Lauren for putting on Blown Piston Racing League. I think they do an awesome job. And yeah, that's it.
All right. Thank you very much, Ryan, and good luck in the playoffs, man. All right, Casey Duncan, in the red target car. It looks like you're the one with the target on his back all the time. You got into some trouble tonight. What happened?
Well, the first time around, I must have missed my spotter telling me the car was high because I had no idea he was there. I knew he was behind me, but I didn't know he was actually on my quarter panel. So when I moved up, it's just he got knocked out of the way. The second caution was there was a slower car on the outside who announced that he was there and gave us a heads up. So as we started to move low to go around him, the car behind me apparently had a little bit of a run and came down underneath me as I came down, and just bad timing for both of us.
Yeah, I remember that one very well. Exactly. That looked like you were catching up slower traffic at that point, and I guess he didn't expect you to come down at all.
Yeah, I wasn't too sure what happened at first. I went back and looked at it, and yeah, he just decided to try to make a pass at probably the worst section of the track while we're trying to pass somebody already. So would have put us in a 3-wide scenario had gone into the corner. But not skated through the grass, came back through, almost got her straightened back out, and if I had, I probably wouldn't have got hit at all and would have been able to just put it in gear and keep going. But I got a little sideways and got clipped, and that sent me up into Scott. I think that ruined his night too.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. Casey, you're into the playoffs. You weren't locked in quite yet, but due to the amount of drivers that we have here tonight, you look like you're in. What do you think your chances are?
Pretty much secured in tonight with the points that were set up. I only needed to score 9 points tonight to get in, and again, like you said, with the fewer drivers that were here. But I felt pretty confident tonight about having a good run, and it's just bad luck happened to hit me tonight. As far as the championship goes, it's a reset. Everybody's looking about the same. I feel I've been pretty competitive in this league, and have been racing pretty good since I switched over to that Target Ford.
Awesome. Good deal. All right, Casey, anybody you want to throw some love yous and thank yous at before we go?
Well, I want to thank all my teammates at 4X Racing. Andrew Mraz came in late, and great addition to the team. We're actually in third in points, about 12 points or so back. Also want to thank Anthony and Ron Schutte. Ron Schutte couldn't be here tonight. He is on the crew for Austin Hill, who's in Kansas today racing real life trucks. So I just want to shout out to all those guys and thank them for being here every week and having fun with the team.
All right. Thank you very much, man, and good luck in the playoffs.
Thank you.
Matt, this is Mark in the booth. Can you hear me?
I gotcha, Mark.
All right. Sorry to keep you waiting so long, sir, but we had a lot of people to go through. You're into the playoffs. You weren't quite locked in at the beginning of the night, but the amount of cars made it very simple for you tonight. Having a start here was going to get you in. It looked like it wasn't quite your night here tonight. Can you talk us through what happened?
Yeah, just finding myself in, issues and bad luck. And, when the cautions were falling, towards the end, I got in it with Scott, just kind of came across his nose. And then early on, me and Casey got into it. So it was just one of those nights to where just luck never played into my favor.
It's always one of those nights sometimes. Matt, what do you think your chances and your opportunities are for the playoffs, sir?
I feel pretty confident headed in. I feel I've been fast and competitive, the races that I've run in. The last couple weeks, I've been running inside the top 10, Texas within the top 3. So I think if I could just figure out a way to close out these races, I think I have a strong chance of making it through.
Sounds like a plan. We wish you the best of luck with that. Matt, anybody you want to throw some love yous and thank yous out there too?
I don't got any sponsors, but thank my teammates Mike Perry, Kurt Rittenberg, David Dolliver, and Jeremy Rittenberg for all the information they feed me. Thank Scott and Lauren Wise for putting on the show, and you for everything you do in broadcasting us.
We are happy to do it, sir. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. And once again, best of luck in the playoffs, and we hope to see you there every race and moving on, man.
Thanks a lot, Mark. I appreciate it.
You bet. All right, folks, I do believe we have our waiting room pretty much empty. We've talked to quite a few drivers about their hopes and their ambitions in the playoffs. We're going to go next week, start that playoffs with the first round in Kentucky, and we'll definitely hope to see all of them there. Scott, is there anything you would like to add before we come to a conclusion here tonight?
Yeah, I just want to say thank you to all the drivers that are participating in this series. That wouldn't be possible without them. It's a very competitive group, a very even group. We've only had one multiple time winner this year, so the parity is definitely there. I want to thank you for coming on as our broadcast partner mid-season. It's very much appreciated. Kind of gets more exposure for us, more exposure for you moving forward. And we're looking forward to the playoffs getting going at Kentucky next week.
Same here, Scott. I appreciate you bringing me on board. I enjoy this a lot. Like you say, it is always very competitive. The incident, it looks to me like, we have incidents in these races, but that's just because we're racing each other hard, and that's just kind of part of the deal. And but I do believe that, I think it's very fair to say that none of this stuff is intentional. Everybody is just trying to do their best, and we're all human. We make mistakes when we're doing our best and when we're racing on the edge. So it just brings more flavor to all of it. And like you're saying, I am looking forward to the playoffs as well. Next week we're going to Kentucky. Same time, different place as always. Folks, we appreciate you tuning in to the broadcast here tonight. We're going to close it up here tonight by thanking the organizers once again for putting up a great series, very competitive, very fair racing, and we're going to continue on until the champion is crowned at the end of the season, starting next week in Kentucky. Thanks very much.